They failed his son. That's what Seth Rogers is saying now about his son, Sebastian Rogers. He was last seen alive in February of 2024. And Seth Rogers has filed 2 lawsuits against 2 government agencies in connection with his son's disappearance. We're going to hear an interview that Seth Rogers gave to a local TV station. We're going to fill you in on all the details that we have so far. But understandably so, Seth Rogers wants to know what happened to his son, Sebastian. We can all feel his frustration. And yeah, he has made mistakes along the way that people judge him for. But again, you wake up one morning, you don't expect to have a loved one vanish, and then all of a sudden, literally the eyes of the world and the internet focused on you and your every word, your every move. And all you want to do is find your son. We'll get into all of that tonight. And of course, on Websleuths.com, we have a major discussion going on about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. And we'll put that link in the chat as well. Welcome, everyone, my darling true crime angels. I'm so glad you're here tonight. My name is Tricia Griffith. And speaking of Websleuths.com, I'm the proud manager of that amazing website. It has been up and running like just crazy busy since 1999. We have close to 19 million posts, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being flippant. I'm not being sarcastic. I am being truthful. Close to 19 million posts. We're talking about the latest true crime cases and a lot of cold cases and a lot of cases that need your attention because nobody is paying attention to them. All of that is on Websleuths.com. But first, we're going to tell you about Sebastian Rogers and his dad, Seth Rogers. And then we're going to read something from Vinnie Politan. And as we said in the thumbnail, Vinnie Politan talks JonBenet. He made a post on Facebook, and it's a long post. It's a good one. But again, it's about the DNA in the JonBenet Ramsey case. I can't say this enough. The DNA is a red herring. Test it, waste all that money, waste tens of thousands of dollars testing the DNA. It's not going to lead to the intruder. Why? There was no intruder. We can prove it. And Patsy wrote the note. Those are things that I feel I can prove, in my opinion. And I am not this genius sleuth in any shape of, or anybody's imagination. I'm just looking at the facts. And again, we'll get into that a little bit later on. And then we're having a slumber party, people. Now, on July 22nd, it is our live 24-hour broadcast, The End of the World Again. As we know, Chad Daybell predicted the end of the world on July 22nd, 2020. Shockingly, surprisingly, stunningly, he was wrong. But I've always said, maybe Chad just got the year wrong. And we need to be together if the end of the world is coming, like Chad says, because you and I both know we're going straight to hell, in Chad's world anyway. So what we do every year is we do a 24-hour broadcast just in case the end of the world happens. We'll be together going straight to hell. And we take the time to remember the victims, not only of the Daybell Vallow murders, but also other crime victims. And we tell you about other cases. And we pick an organization that we ask you to donate money to. All of that will be coming up. Hold on, guys. This is my son. Hang on just a second. Sorry, guys. Stacy, can you come up and chat?
Yep. Hi, everyone. Bipolar isn't that the way. My animals, too. I sit down, I'm going to relax. No, it's not going to happen. I hope you're all doing well. Hi, Lori. Yes, it is getting close to the end of the world, Marilyn. Let me see. Hello, Jesse and Moonlight.
Everything's cool. Everything's cool. As soon as my phone rings, I think, oh my God, am I muted? Have I been muted this whole time? That was my first thought. I was muted. No, it was my son. Everything's fine. He forgets I live stream. You know, I've only been doing it for 6 years, but I understand. At the same time, every night,
Yeah.
But I understand why he forgets, and everything's fine. Anyway, so we are going to have we're doing our live stream, and we will be talking to you about crime victims. We have some very special guests coming on. We're talking to Dr. Christine Marie. She is that amazing woman who was in the Netflix documentary about Sam Bateman and the FLDS. It's just incredible. She'll be coming on. Lauren Matthias will be coming on. I have got to get in touch with Mike King. I haven't done that yet, but every year we've had Mike King on. And our theme this year is going to be about cults. And Stacy, you and Little Texan will be doing a special report on cults. And we've got some other guests coming up as well. Also, we are going to start it out with a slumber party, because we'll start it actually on July 21st, which is Tuesday. And we're going to start it like at, I think, 11:50 Eastern. Okay. And then we'll go for a few hours. And then I usually go to sleep. I leave my camera on, go to sleep. Sometimes we have someone come in and do the overnight. Sometimes we don't. And I thought, why don't we have a slumber party? Let's invite other mad chatters to come up, be in their PJs, be in their bedrooms or on their couches or whatever. Let's have a slumber party, and then let's all go to sleep together, like we used to do in junior high. Just have a slumber party, and then we'll get up the next morning. We'll have an early interview of somebody that is amazing, and then the rest of the day, we will be talking about crime victims and getting the attention that they deserve to have. I'm really trying to get somebody connected to the Flora 4 case. These wonderful, beautiful little children that were murdered via arson. And I just, hold on, let me get their picture here. I can't, I'm trying to find somebody. What is the name of that Facebook page, Stacy?
Oh, well, there's
Angels.
Angels.
What's it called? I'm sorry, what's it called?
There's Galen's Angels.
Galen's Angels. And that is the return address of the wonderful person that gave me this beautiful tile with these pictures of these gorgeous girls on them. These are the girls that were murdered by arson back in 2016. That's the name of their
group. Yeah.
Right. And I've been trying to get in touch with somebody there. I'd love to have somebody come on from and talk about the Flora 4. I will be contacting one of the detectives to see if they can come on. But again, that's just one of the cases that we'll be talking about as well. So be thinking about if you would like to join us. We can have 10 people up on stage. That's all StreamYard allows. Now, Stacy will be on stage, but Stacy, you are not going to turn your camera on because you are AI, as we know.
Yep.
So, and AI doesn't sleep, so that won't do any good. Now watch, there's people that are going, I didn't know Stacy was really? No, Stacy's not AI, okay? Anyway, but if you want to join us, do so. And we are having a tinfoil hat contest as well. I want to show you, we have our first contestant. Let me show you our first contestant here. Look at that sweet baby. Isn't he cute? It's just so cute. This is Frenchie. This is Kathy L's dog. And yeah, look at the cute baby. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. But think about it if you would like to join us on stage and go have a slumber party with us on our live stream, because we do have to get some sleep during our 24 hours, because if we don't, I get loopy anyway. I end up sounding like I'm drunk by the end of the night. So I'm very excited about this year's End of the World Again because of our guests, because of our topics. And we hope to truly shine a light on so many things to get everybody to take a look at the victims, at the crimes, see if they can help. It is going to be really an amazing event, isn't it, Stacy?
Yes, it is. I'm really excited.
Me too. And compared to the first year when I just went, what should I do? What the hell should I do? Oh, I'll just keep it on 24 hours. That's as much thought as I put into it. And that was at the cabin. And my internet was so weak, I couldn't even use StreamYard. And we couldn't have guests on. The guest was me on the phone and talking to him on the phone like this, So But
Yeah.
yeah, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. So we'll talk more about the slumber party in just a little bit. But is everybody in chat doing okay? Everybody good, I hope? Half-Ass Haku says, isn't Joe Schmo from Florida where those little girls were killed? I don't know. If he is, then heck yeah. I mean, and we're going to ask Joe Schmo to join us too. We're actually going to ask him to join us in the slumber party. I think having Joe Schmo at a slumber party would be fun. Joe Schmo and Aspen Connor at a slumber party, that's who you need. They should hire themselves out. They should start a business. Aspen and Joe Schmo will come to your slumber party. Really, they should. They should do that. So anyway, everybody okay in chat, Stacy, as far as you can tell?
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay. Y'all remember Sebastian Rogers, right? How can we forget Sebastian Rogers? We can't. I mean, this kid is just amazing. I'm going to share this really quick here, this picture. And he was last seen February 26, 2024 by his mother. And I'm just going to give you a very basic breakdown from what I remember about the case. We do have video of them at a restaurant, and then they went home. And that was the last time anybody saw Sebastian other than his mother was at that restaurant. And then she claims that she told him to go to bed. She heard a thump later, and she said, get back into bed. And he said, yes, ma'am. And then she woke up in the morning and he was gone. She claimed he didn't take his shoes with him. Now, if I remember correctly, and again, forgive me if this is not correct, but I do believe that Katie Proudfoot said that the house was locked from the inside, and Sebastian didn't have a key. How'd he get out? And he supposedly didn't take his shoes with him. And as Beth B, this is one of Beth B's cases, my friend, and she just was into this case and loved Sebastian. And she says the fact that, if true, that he left without his shoes, she felt meant he was running in terror. Now, there's nothing to suggest that that's true at all. There's nothing to suggest that the Proudfoots did anything wrong. However, when you hear Sebastian's dad talk about this lawsuit and what he's doing, it's pretty compelling. So I'll tell you what, let me read you this article, and then we're going to play this interview that Seth did with a local TV station. This surprised me. I had no idea this was coming. It just popped up in my feed. I'm like, what? And I thought, well, maybe this is old. No, he's suing two agencies, the sheriff's and Division of Child Services. And he said they failed his son. Now, remember he had Dog the Bounty Hunter? And remember he kept calling him, what was he calling him? It wasn't his name. He kept calling him by the whole time. Anytime Dog was on any show talking about Sebastian, he would call Seth by
Sean or something. It was
Sean. I think it was Sean. I think he'd call him Sean. And it's like, oh my God, really? Really? Anyway, I did. Now, Seth and Chris came on our live stream just surprisingly one night because we had one of the private detectives that was working on the case on, and Chris Proudfoot heard it and came on. He was very upset. It was Chloe, I believe. He was very upset about what Chloe, this private detective, was saying. And Chloe's wonderful. She was fantastic. And so he came up on our live stream, and then Seth came up on the live stream. This was back in April of 2024, and they both went at it. And this live stream was over 3 hours, and for me, that was a long time. And I do remember that I just let them talk. I didn't want to interrupt them, either of them. But Seth has refused to come on because he says I have said mean things about him. He's not wrong. When what was it? Didn't he tell people to quit searching for his son or something? What was it he did? And I got really upset.
Oh, he told people not to talk about him?
That was it, not to talk about him. Don't talk about the case. And I got really, really upset at that because it's like, what the hell? Yeah, I understand not talking about him stop spreading misinformation, stop with the drama and all the crap. Absolutely. But I remember I got very, very upset with him, and that made him very upset. And since that time, he has refused to come on and said I was mean to him. I don't think I was mean. I think I was blunt. But if he thought I was mean, I apologize. The last thing I would want to be thought of as being mean to somebody like Seth. Not at all. I was upset because I thought that was a disservice to Sebastian to ask people to quit talking about him. So yeah, that was it. Thank you. But anyway, let's get Fluffy Muffin. You know what? I don't know. Did the Proudfoots move right away after Sebastian went missing?
I don't know. I know I think Katie stayed somewhere else for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
My-
And that's where Stacy and I got our lovely nicknames, the Hoes, because that's what Chris started calling us. Remember that?
Yeah,
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Wait, it was what?
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was Chris. And again, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. And that's when I think it was Ping said, Ping came up with the phrase, it's 2 hoes and 1 garden, or something like that. And I said, we need to name our podcast, 2 hoes, 1 garden. But anyway, long story. I thought it was funny. So, yeah, Chris Proudfoot was not very happy with us either. I thought our interview that we did that night back in 2024, it wasn't really an interview. I just let him talk. I didn't ask too many questions. I just remember trying to calm them down. Seth wasn't upset like Chris was. Chris was really angry. But again, that's way in the past. I'll put the link in chat so you can watch this live stream that happened back in 2024. But now I want to read you this article. This is from WSMV Channel 4. And Seth says, they failed my son. Sebastian Rogers' dad sues the sheriff and state agency over Tennessee teen's disappearance. Okay. For 870 days, Seth Rogers has lived with a single unanswered question. What happened to his son? I need my son home, said Rogers. There's nothing else. Now, nearly 2.5 years after 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared without a trace from the Hendersonville home he shared with his mother and stepfather, his father is asking a second question. He says has become just as important. On Wednesday, today, Rogers filed 2 sweeping federal lawsuits that accuse the agencies responsible for protecting Sebastian before he disappeared and investigating his disappearance afterward of failing him at nearly every stage. One lawsuit targets the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, alleging investigators mishandled the missing persons investigation from its earliest hours by failing to secure the home as a potential crime scene and pursue critical investigative leads and devote adequate resources to the case. The suit also names Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock and Detective Brandon Carter, the alleged, quote, sole detective assigned to Sebastian's missing person investigation, unquote. The second lawsuit is against the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, DCS, alleging the agency failed to protect Sebastian despite 2 closed investigations involving the teenager before he vanished. Several DCS officials are also named in the complaint, including DCS Commissioner Margie Quinn, a caseworker, an agency supervisor, and a DCS team leader. Together, the lawsuits paint the broadest and most detailed public picture yet of why Rogers believes the mystery surrounding his son's disappearance is not simply about what happened on the night Sebastian vanished, but whether government agencies repeatedly missed opportunities both before and after that night. So he was failed by both of them, Rogers told WSMV4 investigates during an exclusive interview. My son wasn't protected. My son wasn't found, said Rogers. It makes you want to sleep, but it's a nightmare. And so we're going to play this interview right now. And again, we are playing it in accordance with the federal fair use policy and all those federal policies that we always follow. This is from WSMV Channel 4 in Nashville. They failed my son. Sebastian Rogers' dad sues the sheriff, state agency, over Tennessee teen's disappearance. And here we go. Let me share our screen here. And here we go.
For more than 2 years, the disappearance of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers has remained one of Tennessee's most enduring mysteries. Despite one of the largest missing child searches in state history, there have still been no arrests, no suspects identified, and few answers. Now, Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, is filing a federal lawsuit accusing the Sumner County Sheriff's Office of failing to properly investigate his son's disappearance. Rogers agreed to sit down and talk to me exclusively. And here in our extended conversation, we talked about the son he misses every day, the emotional toll of living without answers, his frustration with the investigation, and why he believes the search for Sebastian is far from over. We began with a simple question: how has he managed the weight of the past 2.5 years?
People say I'm strong and I got a lot of patience. People say that, but they have no idea. Being strong, I'm not strong. I'm just determined to find my son. Strength has nothing to do with it. The weight of the world that I feel on my shoulders every day, unless you've been in the situation of your child missing and not knowing where he's at, you don't have any clue.
Tell me about Sebastian.
He's my saving grace. Before him, I was probably heading down the wrong path in life. Then I had a child. It was like God gave me a purpose in life. And he still is. I just got to find him.
From your heart, what do you need?
I need my son home. I need my son home. There's nothing else. My goal is, from the very beginning, is to find my son. And it will continue to be the goal until he is found. There is no other.
February 26th, 2024. How do you learn Sebastian is missing?
I got off of work at 7. We're not allowed to have cell phones. When I get to my truck, I got a text message saying 911. So I called the stepfather, and that's when he tells me Sebastian's missing.
When you get to Hendersonville, what do you first see?
So there's police, and there's like tracking dogs, and there's just a bunch of people walking around in the yard, in and out of the house. And then I walk into the house, and I walk to his room.
His room is the first place you go.
Yeah. I want to see what his room looks like.
Why was that important to you?
It's the last place he supposedly was. What's going on in the room states what I need to look for.
Did anything seem off?
A couple things seemed off. I don't know why. His switch is on the floor, plugged into the wall. The closet's a mess. There's things all over the floor. It just didn't seem right.
This has been described as the largest.
Okay, Stacy, because I'm an old bat and I don't have any grandkids because my son is determined to torment me by never having grandkids. What is a switch? Explain what a switch is.
What context did he use it in? I missed that switch part this time.
Well, he said that sitting on the ground was a switch. And isn't it a gaming thing? Does anybody know?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
'Cause I had like 5 things pop in my mind. Yes, the Nintendo Switch. It's a handheld gaming device.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up because when he says that, light switch. I'm thinking light switch. And then I'm thinking, no. It's some gaming thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it does. Yeah. So that's what he's talking about, and how anybody can't watch this and have your heart break for Seth Rogers. My heart breaks for him. He's crying. And I believe him. And everybody, he absolutely had nothing to do with his son's disappearance. He was at work, far away, when his son went missing. So that we do know. Okay. But anyway, I'm sure there's a lot that he can't tell us, but let's continue now. Again, everybody, I'm going to put the link in chat. This is an exclusive interview with WSMV, is it? Let me put it here in chat. Okay, and let's continue on here.
Search for a missing child in
I'm going to
Tennessee
back it up
history.
just a little bit.
This has been described as the largest search for a missing child in Tennessee history. Did you think a search that big would find at least one clue?
Would have been nice. How can you have 7 different agencies and hundreds of people working on stuff and not find any speck of evidence that he was there?
People don't just vanish into thin air.
No, they don't.
The idea Sebastian just walked away from the home without his phone never made sense to you.
No, sir.
Why not?
Because it's not my son. It's not something that I could envision him doing. I've stated this before, that for him to leave that house without his shoes, without a coat, without his backpack, without Legos in his pocket, taking his switch or grabbing his phone, he would have had to been running. Somebody's in the house and he's trying to get away.
Were investigators at the home when you arrived inside?
Yeah, there was an investigator sitting at the dining room table.
Was he talking to anyone?
Nope.
Was
He's
he
just sitting there.
Just sitting there?
Yep.
Not looking at anything?
Nope.
Was the home secured like a crime scene?
I walked in and nobody even asked me who I was.
You were just free to walk through the home?
I was free to walk anywhere.
In the first few days, how difficult was that for you to see what is unfolding?
I was searching for my son.
You just couldn't sit around and wait for an answer?
I've put over 100,000 miles on my truck, going down any rabbit hole I can find, any tip that happens to come in.
Why does that fall on you?
It falls on me because I don't believe anybody else is doing it.
But that should be the job of the lead investigative agency, the sheriff's office.
Should be.
Do you believe they failed your son?
I believe they have.
Do you believe they failed you?
I know they have. Because it's 2.5 years and there's no nothing. They won't even do a press conference. And when they did do a press conference, they didn't even have a picture of my son up. How can you not have a picture of the missing child so people know who you're looking for? That does not make sense.
At first, did you have faith they would find him?
Yeah. I have no faith now.
When did that faith begin to fade?
When they started not telling me any information.
When did you stop waiting for answers and start questioning the investigation?
Probably within a month. When they kept telling me if I had a child missing, this is the detective that I want on the case. And when that detective doesn't answer phone calls and tells me he only wants to deal with text messages, I'm sorry, text messages are very impersonal.
Do you feel the sheriff's office started to ignore you?
Yes. They don't want to answer questions. I think they should be answering questions.
They should answer your questions because you are his father.
Correct. But at the same point in time, I don't think they put any effort in finding my son anymore.
Has that silence or lack of communication
Says a lot. It says a lot when they won't speak to me. To me, it says that they know that they screwed the pooch.
That silence lets you know in your heart they didn't do their job right.
Correct.
Since the ground search ended, one press conference, one detective on the case, no reward, 18 months of silence. What does that tell you about how much the sheriff's office cares about your son?
They don't care about him at all.
In the past, you have said the Sumner County Sheriff's Office should step aside and let the FBI take over this case. Why hasn't that happened?
My personal opinion is ego. And they don't appreciate that. There shouldn't be ego involved. It should just be urgency. Urgency to find the missing child. Ego should never step in when it comes to a professional job.
If there's any way possible, Sebastian is able to see this, you and I speaking, what would you want him to know?
I love you, son, and I am looking for you, and I won't stop until I find you. I don't know if he's got a pillow. I don't know if his belly's full. I don't know if he's got clothes. I don't know if he's got shoes. I don't know if he's being taken care of. And all these things hurt. All of them hurt. I don't know what's going on with my child. I just know that he's not where he should be.
Do you believe Sebastian's still alive?
Every day. No evidence otherwise. I don't understand how people can think that he's deceased.
You need your son to be alive.
I need my son found. There's no room in it for him to be deceased. He's alive. He's just lost.
If you can watch that and not have it hurt your heart, I don't know what to tell you. I get it. I can't imagine the living hell he's going through. I can't. I felt bad that he thought that I was being mean to him when I got upset. I was just talking on my live stream when this happened, when he told people to quit talking about the case. I got upset at that. I wasn't necessarily upset at him, but that made me feel bad. And I did apologize to him back then. I don't know if he ever got it or not, but Stacy, what do you think?
I just hope they get answers. You know.
Well,
I hope there's something happens and he's found. Yeah.
Again, this is dicey to sue government agencies because they have protection. And I don't know what type of protection they have. I'm not sure. But I can see this case just being thrown out because they have protection. Because if they didn't have protection, then they'd be sued constantly. And that's not good. But I do believe lawsuits can bring about a lot of information and changes that need to be made. And I think everybody can agree that Division of Child Services in most areas, needs more help, probably needs overhauls. They have good people working there and bad people. And again, we could go on and on about that. And the Sheriff's Department, again, I think he's right about the ego. I think that's why they won't bring in the FBI. Now, from what I understand, don't quote me on this, but Stacy, I'm an FBI agent in my own mind. I believe that the only way the FBI can be brought in is if there is proof there's a kidnapping. And there's no proof there's a kidnapping here. But he said exactly what Beth B said, which was she felt that Sebastian was running in terror. And that's why he didn't have his shoes. He was just running in terror. Now, the scary thing is there are these holes there. And they're mining holes, they're old mines. Dear God, if he fell into one of those, I don't know how they could ever find him. But did somebody try and take him somewhere and hide him from Seth? Is it true? Again, this is what we heard back then, that Sebastian was getting ready to move in with Seth. And at Seth's house, he was allowed to play with, certain people, the gaming, how kids wear the headset and they game with each other.
On his Switch. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, on his Switch.
Right, on his Switch.
We were talking about,
Right. I guess he wasn't allowed to do that at the Proudfoots, and I could be wrong on that, but he was allowed in a limited way to do it at his father's house, which is that's what kids do. That's what they should do. But a lot of speculation was, did he meet somebody online and then take off? What happened? Now, Chris Proudfoot was far, far away, supposedly, he was far, far away when Sebastian supposedly went missing. Again, we're only going by Katie Proudfoot, and there has been nothing to suggest that she is lying that we know of. Again, that's what's so frustrating is there's no big red herrings here. There's no big, big red flags that we can go, aha, there you go. He just vanished. And it's so weird.
It is. And, Sebastian's not the only child that's gone missing like this and is still missing.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, from Tennessee, Summer Wells. Now, it's not the same county, but Summer Wells is another. There's a ton of kids, many kids that have just vanished like this.
Yeah.
So here's the situation. Thank you, Athi. Thank you. I appreciate this big slobbery blob of cloth. Ugh. God, I feel like I need to take a alcohol bath after I touch this thing. Anyway, Does he believe what his ex-wife is saying about Sebastian's story? I don't know. Stacy, have you heard whether he has said anything about believing it or not?
I have no idea. Yeah.
So, let's see. I want to take this banner down for just a second here. Go get it. Let me take this banner down. Hang on. I wish there's so much we don't know. Oh, and I want to put the link up in chat to the Websleuths discussion, because Websleuths has an amazing discussion going on and about this case. So let me put it up here. We have 3 threads going on now. We have thread 1 and thread 2. Those are closed. And then thread 3 is the one that's active. Let me put this in chat. And really, it is a great place to go to get caught up on everything. Our members have been on this case since day one, nonstop. So let me put this up here in chat really quickly. Websleuths Sebastian discussion. And I told you what happened with me. It was in 2024, and it was after we had done our End of the World Again live stream, and I was getting ready to drive to Utah to visit my son, to remind him he does have a mother and to make him feel guilty for not calling me. And I saw a kid that looked just like Sebastian go down the street. And when I turned and looked at him, he started to run away, and he ran funny. He had a funny way of walking. So, hold on, Death by Booby. I'll get to that. That's a good point. But he was running really funny. And I remember thinking, oh, that can't be him. But I do remember in our live streams, we would get people coming in, and just random people that we didn't know, didn't recognize. And they'd say, Sebastian's in Texas. Sebastian's in Texas. Well, I go out packing my car, and I look, and I swear to God, if I had to say, was it Sebastian or not, I would say it was. It looked like that one kid in North Carolina that they thought was Sebastian. It looked just like Sebastian. So I called, I think it was the FBI tip line, or it was a tip line. I can't remember which one. And I had to force them to take my information. They didn't care. They didn't care. I said, don't you want my name? That is what I heard. It was a woman. Oh, okay. They took down my name, and I said, don't you want my number? Well, we've got it on caller ID. And do you want my address, where I am sure I saw him walking down the street? And what was odd to me was when I turned and looked at him, and he looked at me, and that's when he started running. But he was running funny. And I thought maybe he was running on his tiptoes. His arms were flailing. It was just very strange. But again, they just didn't care. The person that answered the phone, I had to force them to take down my information. So anyway, I don't know. The FBI has been involved, but unfortunately they haven't been asked to take point. Is that it, Death by Booby? They have been involved. Yeah, because I'm almost positive it was an FBI hotline I called. So they haven't been asked to take the point. They haven't been asked to take over the investigation, I guess, which is the issue here. Thank you, Death by Booby. Thank you very much. And let's see. Coco Kachu. I love that. Or Cuckoo Kachu. Sorry. I am the walrus. I am the Eggman Cuckoo Kachu. Expect CP standing right in front if Texas Roadhouse, sorry, read this again. Yeah. Except Chris Proudfoot standing right in front if Texas Roadhouse on camera. He wasn't far away. He was home.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
It's not accurate.
Well, okay. Well, tell me what this means. Because that doesn't make. I don't know what this means.
Well, remember there was that video of the Roadhouse that was shown everywhere, and people were saying, "Oh, look, there's Chris." And
oh yeah, no, Chris wasn't there. That isn't. You're right, Kukuguchi. That is not true. Okay, that absolutely is not true. So, absolutely not. In fact, I've pulled up an old report from last year that shows the video. Let's watch that for just a second, okay? Let me grab it here. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, hang on. Oh God, just a second. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, I remember that whole video came out and people went crazy.
Yeah,
So
and they were saying all these
ridiculous.
crazy things about
Mhm.
it, and we're like, we're looking at it with our own eyes. What are you seeing that when you're seeing all these crazy things? So this is Court TV real quick here.
Before he disappeared. Security cameras caught Sebastian eating dinner with his mother at a Texas roadhouse in Hendersonville, Tennessee, the day before he vanished. His mother was seen taking photos of him and then sending them to somebody. Now, looking at this video, it's kind of hard to believe he hasn't been seen since then, but that is the case. Sebastian vanished from his mother's home on February 26th. His father says he still has hope he'll be found.
The goal is still the same. Find Sebastian. He needs to be found and brought home to a home that loves him.
Sebastian's 16th birthday was last weekend, and police say that they're still actively investigating this case.
Okay, anyway, there's some of the footage shown at the restaurant. And again, yeah, people went nuts and they were claiming all these crazy things. And it's like, what the hell, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, let me just read this here. Yeah, exactly. Suzanne Robertson. Autism kids do have an unusual walking gait. My son has, I noticed, in many people in the spectrum have that gait. Yeah, I'm telling you, the kid that I saw had, it was a white t-shirt, had the glasses like, so I thought it was Sebastian when I turned around and I went, and he saw me and he didn't take off running fast. He took off running goofy. That's the only way I can describe it. And, you know, I thought, well, I know it's a long shot. But again, and I didn't say anything for a long time about it because I didn't want anybody to accuse me of, you know, doing it for attention or anything. But I finally decided to tell everybody after enough time had passed and nothing had happened. But I do remember we were getting these weird messages in our live stream from people we didn't recognize, and it'd be different names. He's in Texas. He's in Texas. They've hit him in Texas. It was a constant theme, you know. So anyway, very, very strange. Oh yeah, that's right. Hoodie guy. What was the hoodie guy story on at the restaurant? They thought that maybe he was the guy that took Sebastian. No. Again, they ate dinner and they went home. That's all it was. There wasn't anything nefarious in that video. So, yeah, and I agree. From what we saw, it did look like she was looking that Katie was looking around a lot. But maybe they were going to meet somebody there that didn't show up. Who knows? You know.
I don't know. A lot of people tend, if you watch people in restaurants, a lot of people do that.
I do it. I'm always looking at people.
Yeah. Oh my God, my husband does that. Drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, I do it because I'm always expecting some wacko to come in, you know, and so I'm always like on alert. But thank you, Jessie Roblin. Good to see you. She said kids with kids on the spectrum, tiptoe walking and arm flailing are quite common. And that's what this kid was doing. But he definitely, when he saw me, he took off because he saw the shock on my face. I don't think, you know, again, if I had to say, it looked exactly like it did. It looked exactly like him. Was it him? I have no idea. Probably not. But let's put it this way. I am so glad I called and reported it. So Heather says, autism son walked with his weight on his heels and the outside of his feet. He still might just be less obvious now that he's 27 or 22. Yeah. Yeah. That seems to be kind of a common theme that they do walk and have an unusual gait like that, especially when they start to run. So Spinster says, I look around the restaurant a lot when I'm trying to find the waitress. And maybe she was trying to find the waitress, you know, that could be.
Yeah, you could tell at one point they were done and she was ready to go. And so she was looking around. Yeah.
Right.
Because they were getting food to go or something like
that.
that.
Yeah, they had some bunch of food to go. Yeah. That's right. Lindy says, bots were the likely he's in Texas. And that could be. Absolutely. I just remember it was so strange.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why are you, you know, saying it was weird. Very, very strange. I wish I would have thought to grab my phone and take a picture when I saw him, but I was so shocked when I saw him. So, because we live on a really quiet street, there's not a lot of cars going back and forth. People aren't walking all over the place, you know. So, anyway. Well, you're right, Stephanie Ferraro. Nothing is impossible, which is why I reported it. So, and let's see. Nanado5 Dahl says, why would she take photos of Sebastian and those are not the ones she shared with the media? Would they not have been the most up-to-date photos? I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. Could it mean something? Maybe. Could it not mean anything? Absolutely. So anyway. He was alive and eating with his mother. Yeah. Exactly, Death by Bowie. Texas Roadhouse, February 25th, confirmed footage. He was alive and calmly eating. He was eating normally with his mother, no sign of distress. This is the last confirmed timestamp video of him alive, yes. So it is absolutely the last known video of him, no question. So, Suzanne Robinson, I do not believe that was confirmed. Suzanne says, has it been confirmed that Sebastian's mother had a verbal confrontation with a person in the car park? I don't think so. That doesn't ring a bell. Let's put it that way. So now, Jesse Roblin, I have heard that footage of those lights, it was nothing, right, Stacy? It wasn't anything to do with this case.
Yeah.
The last I heard that it was determined that it was garbage truck lights. But again, I don't know. You can read on two mainstream media platforms, two totally different things. It's so hard to figure out what is the truth, you know? Stacy, what are you going to say?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Via Subido says, she might just be a crap photographer like I am, and the pictures weren't clear. All my photos are blurry. And that could be. Maybe it wasn't a good picture, some good pictures that she took. And she had better ones to give to the media.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you want to use a portrait or something like that shows a really good look at him.
Right.
You know, as opposed to, when somebody's eating or whatever,
exactly.
It might not look, like them normally.
Right. And yes, Death by Booby says, doorbell footage, real but untimestamped, shows him leaving the house, but no timestamp. Cannot confirm when, cannot confirm if he returned. This footage is not the last confirmed proof of life. Well, the footage we just saw is the last official confirmed proof of life, the one that has a timestamp that we know to be shortly before he went missing. Now, there could be other video, but I don't think anything has been confirmed. So anyway. Okay, Death by Booby. I have not heard this. Let me read this here really quickly. FaceTime call, witness evidence. This is the last known interaction with him. He was upset, confused, distressed inside the house. I have never heard that. I have never seen that, Death by Booby. If you can get me a link and email it to us and show it to us. I've heard rumors. There's all kinds of rumors. But I've never heard anything about a FaceTime call that night. Could it be? Absolutely. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. So, and Sandy, I don't know what you mean when you said, and that was determined to be a lie. I don't know what that is. And in chat, I'm so grateful for you guys to come in here and post. If you could be a little more specific, because I'm talking about one thing and you could be answering a question from 5 minutes ago. So if you could put a little more information so we can get some good context, that would be great. I would really appreciate it. Because again, it's wonderful having you guys here and participating. It really is. So let's see here. Sandy says, anything about the lights proved to be a lie. Again, I don't know which lie you're talking about. Are you saying that people were saying that was him with a flashlight? I remember them saying it was a garbage truck. Again, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, not you. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Death by Booby said this is the last known physical location inside the home. Well, again, there have been suggestions, and there's nothing to suggest that this is true, but because we don't have actual footage of him going inside the home, did something happen on the way home? I don't know. I'm gonna Stacy, could you take over chat and read some things real quickly?
Yeah, I actually messaged somebody about that because we had gotten information, after he went missing about video after that. And
Right.
so I'm confirming it with somebody right now because at the time it was public information. So yeah, I'm trying to confirm it.
If you could read some things really quickly,
Yeah.
because when I hear dead air, I have a nervous breakdown. So
it says, I have a hard time with how quickly she stopped staying at the house. I would want to be where my child was last. His safe space, where things are, where we had memories, and in case he came back. A lot of people, question that, but there's a lot of times nowadays, due to the internet, that a lot of people will leave the residence because of harassment.
Yes, absolutely. And that's true. No question. You're absolutely right. So, okay, I found something here. It says exclusive home security video from the night Sebastian Rogers disappeared. Oh, okay. It shows two people with flashlights. All right, that's what this was. Okay. It's. Oh, go ahead, Stacy.
Oh, nothing.
It's interesting. There are many times that people will swear up and down that this thing happened. They saw it. They saw the video. They saw the text message. They saw this and that. And then come to find out, no, they were just told. And we can't find it. And that's why it's so important to confirm things, because everything gets blown up on the internet. And if I could just say, that's why I love Websleuths.com, because we don't allow rumors. We don't allow people to come on and just start posting wild crap like that. We stick to the facts of the case on Websleuths.com. Lisa Foster says, is it common in the U.S. to call your mother ma'am? I wouldn't say it's common. I think some people do. I know kids do it to be sarcastic. Yes, ma'am. That type of thing. So let's see.
I was going to say Death by Booby sent links to me, but they're not working. It goes page not found, 404, error.
Right. Four Sons Mom, that's interesting. And a lot of people think this. Four Sons Mom says, I think the thud his mom heard is really her giving a tell. It could be. Absolutely. So. Sandy says they have T-Muns. I don't know what that is. They have T-Muns of audio of a 12-minute ride, and it US 6 minutes from the store. I'm sorry, Sandy. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yeah. Death by Booby, the links you sent don't go anywhere. We get an error message.
Yeah.
So. Do you guys want to hear a little bit of the interview when Chris jumped up on our live stream and was really angry? Everybody say yes or no in chat. Do you want to hear? That was from April of 2024. Would you like to hear the video of Chris getting really angry at us and the misinformation that he said that we were talking about? Would you guys like to hear that? Okay, I'm getting some yeses, so here we go. And I'll put the link in chat. I made this private. I made a lot of my videos private, but I have now made this a public video so people can listen to it. So let me grab it here really quickly. And here I have queued it up to where Chris jumps on. And this is with Chloe, the private detective. And we had the night was Chloe was going to come on and talk to us about the case. And we had no inkling that Chris was going to come on or that Seth was going to come on. So let's Here we go.
Yeah.
Hold on. Coming.
And we ask everybody to be
Okay.
respectful to the
Yes.
host and the guests on our show.
No
or we'll have to
no
remove
crappy
you.
comments, please. Okay.
Right.
No
This is
crappy.
about-
Yeah, people in chat were getting really rude and saying rude things about Chris and rude things about Seth. So we are telling everybody, behave, kids. We're going to turn this car around. Here we go.
a missing child.
Right.
And that's all that matters.
And we will always be polite to our guests. Okay, so who do we have here? Who do we have here? I've put you on the platform.
You have me, Chris.
Hi, Chris Proudfoot.
Hello.
I really appreciate you coming here. I'm going to change the banner really quickly so everybody knows it's you. But I don't know how long you've been listening.
Long enough.
Okay, you sound angry. Talk to me.
Oh,
What?
Very.
Talk to me. We don't want to get you. The last thing we want to do, Chris, is cause problems between you and Seth. I swear to God.
Well,
So
I understand that, but let me help you with something.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of the information that I've been listening to on your show, coming from Chloe, the questions that are coming through people, it's very sickening and disgusting, to be personally honest with you.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
So let me go ahead and address a few things and help y'all out.
Okay.
Because, Chloe, you're the PI. I haven't had a chance to talk to you. You haven't even called me. You ain't done anything, first off.
Heather has
Heather
been
is the only one. Heather is the only one who has reached out to me or to my wife.
I
So for you
actually
to
reached
sit on this
out to
show
you
and sit
a
here
month
and
or
give
so ago.
information
And
that you have, that you don't have all the answers to, is a problem.
Okay. Well, Chris, help us understand, because I know Chloe, and Chloe wants to help. And the last thing Chloe would do is want to put out misinformation. And the problem
okay,
is,
I understand that. So let me just smash something real quick.
okay.
Okay, first and foremost, anything that goes on between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business. I don't care what you think. I don't care what y'all got to say. That'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
Okay.
It does not matter what goes on in my house. We're looking for my son. That's real simple.
Your stepson, right?
It doesn't matter. Stepson, my son. All the kids are treated as if they're your own. There is no title, a stepson, a son. It does not matter. That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own.
Okay, Chris, may I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and let me tell you why people are asking personal questions about you and your wife. Okay, it's because of the situation in which Sebastian has gone missing, and they're wondering if whatever happened between you and your wife, does it have something to do with Sebastian going missing? I swear to you, it's not to be nosy. It's not to be rude. It's just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian. And
Okay, so let me make this even crystal clear for you.
okay,
And everybody out there that's got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions that y'all think you know anything about, when honestly, you don't know a damn thing. And that's the problem. You assume, you speculate, all this crap. You have no idea what me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through, to include Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
okay,
Because it's the vile, disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouth. Yes, I'm a very pissed off stepfather to this whole situation.
okay. And I understand, and I hear what you're saying. But again,
So let me help y'all with something. 'Cause
Okay.
Y'all said some shit that's really, it's really none of your damn business. But since you brought it up, I'm clearing.
okay.
My parents didn't go to Alaska 2 days after he went missing.
I don't think
Why my
anybody said
parents
that.
went to Alaska was because my stepfather went for work.
Okay, nobody said they went 2 days after he went missing.
Oh, no,
They
it's
said-
out there. Trust me, because I have
Okay, I
terabytes.
did not say that.
Nobody
didn't say
said that
you.
here.
I
Okay,
said people.
okay.
Now, I have terabytes of videos of Seth on here saying some foul stuff. I've got videos of everybody and their comments out here.
But
Trust me, what I'm bringing to you is not that I'm just pulling stuff out of the air.
I understand. No. And Chris, I'm glad you cleared that up. That's a
good.
good.
And by the way, they didn't go for a month.
Okay.
They went for 2 weeks. My stepdad went on business. My mom went with him, but it's really nobody's business.
Well, but Chris, let me, and please understand. I swear to God, I'm coming from a place of understanding because I've been doing this for years. Okay. Here's the thing. When you ask the public for help, they're going to look at everything and try and figure out what happened to Sebastian. And let me from an outsider looking in, it's okay. His parents left town shortly after. Was there a reason? Did they take Sebastian with him? It is speculation that I am sorry it's hurtful to you, and I understand it. And that's why it's important that you clear it up. Just clear it up. Nobody's trying to be hurtful or mean. I promise you, we've all been asked to help find Sebastian. And this is what we do. We try and think outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on.
But
it is
your
not
problem with thinking outside of the box does nothing but cause speculation. It causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything, that you're taking sources away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that my family owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? Not you. I'm saying the public.
And so that, Chris, that's why it is great that you're here, because we want to clear this up and help you get it out. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris, when it comes to the general public, they're always going to be calling in crazy tips and doing crappy things. And all we can do is say, that's not us. We are not doing that.
Well,
But
it doesn't matter, though.
I did want to clear it
that
up.
does not matter.
I did
Doesn't matter
want to clear it
one
up,
iota.
Chris. I did reach out to you on March 17th, publicly and privately. You responded to me publicly. You asked me to ask my question publicly. I did. You didn't respond. I reached out to you privately again. So I have reached out to you.
Where in the public? Where?
I reached out to you on Facebook. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger privately. You've never read my message.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of the bullshit that I get in Facebook.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make it clear that
can I explain to you?
Yeah.
You send me messages along with thousands of other people.
I understand that. And that's why I took it public. And you did respond to me and ask me to ask my question publicly because you wanted whatever answer you were going to give to be public to clear it up.
What was the question that you asked me? Since I neglected your question.
And that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to make it clear that I haven't not tried to reach out to you.
And Chris, I know you're mad. I can feel it. I can hear it, and I understand it. You've got to believe me when I tell you this. Please, if you can dial it back a bit and get us some of these answers and let us help you clear up this bull so it doesn't interfere anymore. And like I said, you're always going to have crazy people interfering and coming up with rumors, and it's so maddening and frustrating, and I hate it. It pisses me off more than anything, and anybody that knows me knows that.
It pisses you off? You're not in our shoes.
I know.
You haven't been in our shoes.
Okay, well, you don't know that, but I haven't been in your shoes and missing a child, no. But believe me, I can understand what you're going through, and what I'm saying is we can help you, Chris. We can help you, all right? Anybody here in this chat that asked about the cemetery, it's because somebody else brought it up. Just tell us.
Exactly. And my question comes back to, where do these people come up with this crazy crap?
That's $1 million question. I don't know.
Yeah, online.
Let's clear it up. Let's clear it up for you. Let us help you.
I believe, Chloe, you're saying online. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry. I said that. There's a lot
That's
of
Stacy. Yeah.
crazy people online. And just to let you know, I understand you get a lot of messages. I reached out to you when Sebastian first went missing too, to see if we could help in any way. So
Yeah, but Chris, I understand your anger, but I'm telling you, please let us help you. Okay. We're not here to point fingers at you or whatever. But the problem is, and this is what we were talking about earlier, Chris, when the public is asked to help and then no information is provided, then people, because of social media, and social media is here to stay, unfortunately, this never used to be a problem, never, until social media. And it's terrible. I will be the first one to admit it's terrible. But let us help you clear it up, okay? So you don't own a cemetery and you don't own a funeral home. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, everybody stop with that bullshit. All right.
Here, let me add this to the thing. We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property.
Mm-hmm.
We don't own a private yacht. What else do you guys want to come up saying that we own? Like we're millionaires or something, like we've got this money growing off trees, which, by the way, it'd be great if we did, because I guarantee we wouldn't need anybody's help because he'd have been home by now.
Right. No, I understand. No, I completely understand. Okay. But understand, when the public is asked to help with social media, this is what social media does. And it can be your
worst nightmare
or your best friend.
Yes.
And let us help it. And I can give you examples. I can have you talk to people that have said, yes, the people at Websleuths, they've helped us. They've been great. Okay.
Yes.
But hey guys, I understand why Chris is angry, because it's coming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Horrible crap about him. Okay. And his family. I get the anger. So we're going to help you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let my cat out before she drives everybody crazy. So I apologize. So hang on. Chloe, is there anything you'd like to say while I let my cat out before she drives me nuts?
I will ask the question. I'll actually read you the message I sent you. This was March 17th. Good afternoon, Chris. I wrote this in a chat you're involved with, but I'm worried it may be lost because there's so much chatter. First, let me say I'm a Tennessee private investigator and have been praying and actively bringing awareness to Sebastian from day one. His case is near and dear to my heart. I had a question. I know Sebastian went to his dad's every other weekend or so. Did you come home on those weekends? Not a specific date, but just in general. Or did Katie come and stay with you? Are you often gone during the week? Just curious about Sebastian's day-to-day dynamic with his parents. And then I messaged you again after I posted that question publicly. You asked me to post it publicly, and I did, and then I wasn't answered. And I said, hey, Chris, just messaging again. So it'll be at the top. I know you said you get a ton of messages.
So, and again, we understand that you get a ton of messages. We absolutely understand that. Is there somebody else in our chat room? I can't see it.
Heather.
Heather, do you want to come up? I guess she does.
I'm here.
Oh, she is. Okay. Oh, hi, Heather. I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Okay.
There was a lot of talk. I didn't really have a chance to say hello.
And this Heather is the other private investigator.
Yeah, I know who Heather is.
Okay. Heather, would you like to say anything?
Well, so I spoke with them earlier today, and obviously, as you know, Mr. Proudfoot did message me and ask for a number so he could come in. And I think that it is past due. I think that it's a good thing for Mr. Proudfoot to address some of the allegations that are being made. I would like to have the opportunity, like I said to him earlier today, it's good for us, Chloe and I, to have access to them, to be able to, when we get this information, instead of having to go around them to other sources to try to get the answers to those questions, to actually be able to come to him for those answers and try to clear them up directly. So I'm glad he's here. I really am. Even though he's
I am too. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled.
I'm glad he's here, and I've spoken to him before, and he's been very upset with me before. But once he calms down, I think maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can get somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's address something real quick with your
Okay.
viewers who say I'm drunk and belligerent. No, I'm just a pissed off dad. So let's get that real clear.
Hey, everybody, if any, okay, mods.
So if you want to keep your comments and that's how your audience wants to play this game,
No.
then no, I'm not going to clear up anything or turn the chat off. If you want to clear this up, let's get it right. And let's take all the stupid people out of this equation and answer the deals.
Okay, Chris, hang on. Mods, if anybody says anything rude about any of our guests, I want you to ban them, kick them out. Okay?
It's like this. If you ain't got nothing factual about me to say, keep your mouth shut.
Well, okay, but Chris, they don't know if it's factual.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the best recommendation I can give them.
Well, but they want to ask questions, and let me tell you why.
Questions are one thing, not a statement where I'm belligerent and I'm drunk, because guess what, folks? I could read the comments that you post.
I know. And I'm telling everybody, if anybody says anything rude, they're booted from chat. Mods, if you could boot them. Stacy, could you get Ping over here to help us? Anybody?
And the other part of this is if it's nothing in regards to Sebastian, I really don't give a shit, people.
No, and I agree, Chris. And I mean, I don't know if you heard, I didn't want to discuss.
Oh, I asked a lot of questions and she wouldn't discuss it. Absolutely.
I think it's semantics at this point. He's been missing for 2 months, and I don't know how his bathroom habits are going to help me find him.
Exactly. Mind you that children with autism do have bladder and bowel movement issues to control themselves, but
Absolutely.
I'm not really worried that people can't read and do their own.
Well, but Chris, let me
tell you. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and care about that either.
Let me tell you why that was brought up. Okay, it's because of what Seth said. Seth said at his house he didn't.
Yes, you were correct. No, you were correct. You just hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
You just hit the nail on the head. Seth has opened his mouth. He has said a lot of things he probably shouldn't. And he needs to learn how to close it, because quite honestly, none of that has anything to do with finding Sebastian.
Right. And you know what? But Chris, let's keep it that way, because Seth has said he is not going to do that anymore, and he hasn't.
Bullshit. Let me explain to you why. That Sunday when I went to that vigil and spoke to Seth, very calmly, very respectfully, we were having a good conversation while everybody stood behind me and was snapping little pictures and stuff. Heather came up in the conversation. She saw us. It was not a aggressive conversation. It was actually a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it wasn't 3 hours later. Seth was on YouTube on somebody else's show, sitting and he's blaming Katie, my wife, for Sebastian's disappearance. Mm-hmm. Now, unless you got cold hard facts, which you don't open your mouth. Because all you're doing is making an ass out of yourself because you're assuming.
Say that everybody is grieving and handling this situation differently. I won't comment on if I agree with any of the ways that people are acting at this point. I do think, in the last week, we've been trying to build a bridge, and I know it's difficult and it's not going to be just clean and perfect, but I think if we can all just refocus and try to not focus on the other things people have done that make you angry.
So here, let me explain to y'all something that y'all don't get a chance to see, because unfortunately we're meeting on a very bad circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Seth can contest to this. So Seth comes to Tennessee. He gets his job in the security force. He wants to be law enforcement. He has had a dream of being law enforcement since I have known him.
Okay.
There was a chance for something that came up, and I called him and said, look, I think you should apply for this. I think you'd be great at it, which is the job he currently has.
Okay.
Now, he gets accepted. He's excited. He calls me and says, thank you, man. I really appreciate you helping me. That I have been a supporter and a cheerleader for him this whole time. Okay. But y'all don't get to see that. And Seth's not going to tell you that. During the middle of the training, Seth decided one day he wants to call me, tell me he doesn't think he's going to complete it. But I told him, I said, look, you're going to sit there and you're going to go back in there and you're going to complete this training because your son thinks you hang the moon and the sun. So you need to go in there and prove to your son that dreams and goals can be met.
Mhm.
I have been very, very supportive of him trying to do these things. I have told him on Sunday, I supported him then, I would support him now. But I will not stand by and watch somebody be straight up disrespectful and accuse people and say things that have absolutely no bearing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, well, again, I just, if I could just
Yeah,
step in.
I mean, Chris, I would love for us to refocus and talk about I mean, not necessarily the investigation that we can't talk about, but you know, what you know has been done, what you understand about dog tracks, what you understand about the circumstances. You know, I mean, we could go on and on all night, and I know we have a lot of really big feelings that are valid. But I think Heather would agree. We would just really love to redirect this back to Sebastian, because the anger doesn't solve anything.
Guys, again, this is an old interview from April of 2024. We were just talking to Chloe, the private detective, when Chris came up. He was very, very angry. And later, Seth comes up. Now, I want to ask you, do you guys want me to continue to play this, or should we move on? I want you guys to tell me, because I'm too weak to make a decision. I have to rely on you, and you have to run my life for me. That's all there is to it. So what do you think, guys? Should we continue on and wait for Seth to come up? I'll do what you guys want me to do. Got 2 yeses. We have 2 yeses. Got 3 yeses. Oh, not 1 no. Sorry. 2 yeses, 1 no. 3 yeses, 1 no. 4 yeses. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we'll continue. Again, we're not going to play the whole thing because it's like 3 hours long, but I do want to play when Seth comes up, because they go at it and then they actually do end up talking calmly. And I was very, very proud of that. So we'll continue on here. This is from April of 2024, and Seth comes up in just a little bit. And we were not expecting this. Remember, Stacy, we just had Chloe on, and bang, it turned into something pretty big. So here we go.
Not truly all anger. It's disappointment.
No, and I'm not saying that. And I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, at this point, it's just
not helping find Sebastian.
Yeah, and it's like an energy vampire, you know, right. And we're all tired. And I mean, I can't imagine how tired you are. I know how tired I am. So I would love to redirect back to what you know and what you think.
And then I have some questions that I hope you can answer that will help clear things up.
I'll answer questions unless it's something I have been told by law enforcement that I cannot answer. I've said that from day one, and I'm telling you now, it has not changed. So ask your questions.
Did you pass the polygraph?
Yes, I sure did, with flying colors.
And it was TBI that gave it to you?
Yes, TBI gave it to me along with another agency.
Okay.
No, that was kept quiet because it's nobody. We kept it all quiet.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's great that you're telling us now.
Right. And, you know, Seth knew about it the day on that Tuesday when I took it and passed it. They called and told him that I passed it.
And okay. Well, maybe he was told he couldn't say anything.
No, he was told he could say something. They told him so he would try to keep his rhetoric down. That's why they told him. And I have the text message where they asked me if they could tell him. And I said, I have listened to y'all from the beginning. I'm listening to you now. So please do what you feel is best.
Okay. So you pass the polygraph with flying colors. Let me ask you this. People in chat are asking, did you tear down any posters of Sebastian, you or anyone you know?
That is a straight up no. And I can't believe people would think I would tear down flyers or posters of my missing stepson.
Okay,
Which,
but again,
you know, another thing
And
which
I
is kind
will-
of funny that you bring this up, because some people, and yes, they are pertinent to the investigation, have said that there's a video floating around of me tearing these things down.
mhm.
If you got it, post it. Because
I
if you
agree.
ain't got it, shut up.
And that type of thing, you guys, really upsets me, because that is so inflammatory to say. And people were posting that all over the place like it was absolutely legit, like they have seen this video. People swore up and down they saw this video of Chris taking down Sebastian's posters. And no, they didn't, because it never was posted. And that is the type of stuff that I am glad we are able to clear up. Again, if you're just joining us, this is an interview that happened spontaneously in April of 2024. And in just a little bit, Seth Rogers joins us on the live stream here in 2024. Let's continue on.
And I mean, I'll say on record from myself, I've never seen that.
And
Exactly.
I also want to
Because
say,
it doesn't exist.
I'm sure it doesn't.
and I want to say on record that in my conversation earlier with Chris and Katie, Katie said she had one request of me, and that was that when I do these interviews, that I, at some point in the interview, remind people to hand out the flyers and put them up everywhere.
Please, all we're begging. I don't know how to beg you even more. I don't know what it's going to take for America, the world, whoever, to understand. We are begging you to hang posters, talk to whomever, spread the words, keep your eyes open. And when you find something, don't wait 2 weeks to make a report. Because let me tell you something, that's what's been going on. Some of the leads that are coming in are 2 and 3 weeks old.
Why do you
Instead
think
of when
that
you
is?
see something, you pick up the phone immediately
Right.
and you call the cops.
Yeah.
Don't call your best friend and
Right.
say, hey, I think I've seen this kid. Don't call these investigators. No offense, Chloe and Heather. You don't call them first. You don't call Seth. You don't call anybody but law enforcement only, and make your report
And
immediately.
I will say, you know, we've received tips that maybe haven't been called into law enforcement, but we call them in. And we also received tips that have been called into law enforcement, but the person that called the tip in didn't get any feedback when they were told they were going to be called back. And so they were worried that maybe it didn't get looked into enough. So I don't want you to think
for the record,
passing
right.
tips
So
to law
for the record, I think what folks need to understand, because no, y'all don't have all the information that Katie and I, and some of the information that Seth has. You don't. And I understand that. And I'm sorry that we can't give you every single thing under the sun. I wished we truly could. But unfortunately we can't.
Right.
But when you do make a report and you give them a name and a number, you tell them the location, you tell them a very detailed description and everything. You don't expect to get a call back from law enforcement, period. Don't.
Mhm.
Because I'm sorry, but they don't have the time to stop and answer every single callback when they're looking for missing children, not just ours, but there's so many children out there that are missing.
Right.
So I'm sorry that some of y'all feel that you deserve an answer, but it's not. And I'm sorry, it's just going to sound rude when I say this, but you don't deserve an answer. You'll get the answer when we get the answer. The family gets the answer on a missing boy, not strangers. They're not calling y'all to tell you.
Chris, this is what I have to tell when I talk to law enforcement, and it's difficult to accept, and I still have trouble with it too. This is the way it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But again, when you ask the public for help, people are going to start looking, and they look at the last place that Sebastian was known to be. And then it just goes from there. And I'm sorry, it shouldn't, but that's how it does. And we can clear a lot up tonight. And I'm
Yes,
so
let's
glad.
do this.
Okay, BW says, Chris, are you frustrated with law enforcement, or do you feel like you're getting adequate information from them?
I'm not upset with law enforcement. I'm going to tell you right now, the agencies that are involved have thrown every asset that they have at this. What people don't understand, this has actually probably been one of the largest searches for a missing child in Sumner County history, period, and probably in the state with the number of assets. Do I think they're doing everything they can? You bet your sweet tail I am. You can bet on it. I don't think, I mean, just short of making everybody in this United States go hand in hand, start on one side of the country and sweep through hand in hand, that's probably about, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I'm very happy with what they've done. I know there are some other folks that don't feel that way, and I'm sorry because they are not in the know. But you do have to remember one thing. They're not going to expend every single asset, every single minute of the day on one child.
Of course.
You have to keep in mind how many children are missing, and it has to be equally dissolved among everybody. And I'm not going to lie to you. It hurt. It hurt the day that they came in on day 8 and told us that they have to pull back. I mean, it ain't nothing. There was more of a gut punch to take than being told that. I mean, it
I can imagine. I mean, that's yeah, because you're not expecting them to say that. You're not expecting them to say, yeah, we're going to pull back and put less.
I do expect that, but here's the thing. I'm also a realistic person. I would love for them to expend every aspect and every asset and every single second of the day finding Sebastian. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
understand. I want to read you a comment, and I like this comment from Brittany Cole. It says, sometimes you have to block out the noise, Chris. The public will do what they do, and that's the truth. A lot of us are just trying to offer help. It's the bad ones that you remember, and not all the much bigger crowd of good people who are not doing this.
And I mean, weeks ago, somebody asked me what I thought, and I had some information from court documents that could have been a lot of quote unquote tea for the internet to have. And I refused to release it because
Court documents on, let me ask you this, on who? Me, Seth, Katie? Okay.
I refused to release it because, number one, I didn't think it would help find Sebastian. Number two, it was a deeply personal thing. And also,
when she was young?
Yes.
Okay, so let me
finish, and I referred to the Michael Vaughn case, where his parents got completely slaughtered.
Yes, they did.
By the public for a very long time. And they didn't do anything to that boy. I do not believe.
They didn't.
Now they have proof. But they just got slaughtered. And if people can say without a shadow of a doubt that they just know what somebody did, and they don't. Well, if you know, take it to the police and let's solve this.
Yeah. Tell all the Sherlock Holmes and Watsons out there, since they have their PhDs in criminal justice and forensics and all this, since they've got it, by all means, we welcome you to the case. We welcome you to come in here and show us and show these law enforcement officers that have so many years of experience that they don't know anything. We'd love for you to do it.
Chris, this isn't helping.
I know it's not helping, but this goes back to what's being asked.
Let's get people on your side, and then we can all work together. Because I know
that's just the thing. This isn't about sides. This is not about sides.
Exactly, and that's
not. This is about Sebastian.
It
is. But if we're not,
I'm Team Sebastian. You
Same.
know, I was brought in to do one thing.
Same.
Okay, guys, let me just say, coming from the other side, you want the public's help. You need the public's help. Let's not insult the public. There are asses out there. And believe me, we fight against them all the time, don't we, Stacy? Constantly. These jerks out there that pull all this crap just to get clicks. You know, we don't have advertising on this channel. We don't ask for money. We do it because we want to help. But it doesn't help.
So can I ask you a question on your show?
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I ask everybody else when we went on their shows. So I'm on your show and I'm sure it is blown up. So the more people that come on, the more money this show makes.
No, I make no money.
We
off
don't make money. We're not monetized.
Zero money.
It's not monetized.
And we
You're
don't
not a
take
monetary
donations.
show.
No, they don't monetize.
No.
We do not
Right.
monetize.
Okay.
We do not monetize. It costs me money to do this.
Yeah, and Chris,
Websleuths
So
is a
the reason why I
completely
asked
free.
show I
that,
will go on.
It's completely free,
Well,
and the website is as well.
No
right?
advertising.
So the
on
reason
our
why
website,
I'm asking that question, okay,
nothing.
is because if people are true to what they say in their heart, especially those, and they know who I'm talking about, the clickers, the shows that make this money. I would love for you to make a public announcement for every dollar you've made. If you truly do this for the goodness of your heart, every dollar that you have made, you should donate it to the cause, not to your personal gain.
Right.
Well, yeah, we don't, like I said, we make zero
we don't
money. It
make
costs
money.
us money to
And
do
I
it.
appreciate it and I respect that. Thank y'all ladies for that. I will give you that.
So, but no, I understand what you're saying. But again, it's just like with, Nancy Grace or with news media, they report the news. Unfortunately, this is social media. And I agree, there's people out there, and I'm not going to even say their names, but they know who they are. They do this crap to get clickbait so they can make more money, and it's disgusting. Absolutely.
Oh, very much
disgusting.
so. Very much so.
And I want to add something to that. Like I told Chris earlier, everybody that's involved in this case is under a microscope. I've been ripped to shreds. They've been ripped to shreds. Seth has been ripped to shreds. I mean, like the public gets a hold of somebody in the spotlight and they dig into them and they pull up anything that they can about them. And some of it's true and some of it's not. It doesn't help find Sebastian. And that's where we all need to get on the same page and regroup and just make the decision right here, right now, to ignore the rumors, to clear up misinformation, and just to get on track so that we can start trying to find Sebastian.
Now,
right. If we can keep parties involved in this investigation focused on that and staying off of YouTube and other aspects of social media and playing the game, okay,
Yes.
I'm sure we would all benefit greatly, and this would completely change narratives and the direction, and it would straight focus completely on Sebastian.
Well, let's do this. This podcast or Websleuths podcast that we're on right now, we can make a pact right now. That's what we're doing.
sorry, I was muted. I'm going to fast forward it to where Seth comes on. I want to listen a little bit to what Seth has to say. Okay. And then we'll stop and we'll move on again. This is the old interview when Chris Proudfoot jumped on. He's very angry at first. He calmed down. This is from April of 2024. And then later, actually, Gray Hughes jumps on and Seth jumps on, and it got a little heated. We won't play very much more, but I do want to fast forward it here and get to that. Okay. So let me do this really quickly here. There's Gray Hughes. Let's see if this is
multiple shirts that had Halloween. Sebastian had multiple.
Okay, there we go.
Clear.
I did say he had 3.
Since Chris is here and this has become very public, I would like to mention something that we spoke about earlier. Chris and Katie did actually confirm that
I believe this is Heather, one of the PIs talking. I don't believe it's Chloe. I think this is Heather. Here we go.
Clothes that he was wearing at Texas Roadhouse that night were accounted for. And I believe they were the articles of clothing that were used for the scent dog. Am I correct when I say that, Chris?
Yes, those clothes are in the possession of law enforcement.
Great. And so do we know what Sebastian was wearing when he left?
From the house that night,
Yes.
the description is still the same. It hasn't changed from 60 days ago. However, I will say this much. Some of the information that's out on some of these posters and flyers, we have actually requested to have some of that changed, but it hasn't happened. So I'll walk you through what the description actually should be. Sebastian was wearing long black pants. Think of the 1970s style Adidas style pants. You know, had that white stripes down the side. That style of pants on. He had a long sleeve shirt, not a sweatshirt, not a hoodie, a long sleeve shirt. On the front of that shirt is probably one of three depictions: Halloween, Star Wars, or Minecraft.
Okay.
Chris, I know that Sebastian didn't have very many pairs of shoes because his feet were growing, and Katie would toss them out pretty quickly after he grew out of them. But is there a reason we can't confirm which shirt if it's just one of three?
I didn't say one of three. I said one of three depictions on a shirt.
Okay, so that's
So
three
there's
different shirts, right?
Say again, I'm sorry.
So I don't know if we're saying the same thing or something different, but are you saying there's three different possible shirts he was wearing? Like he had three different black long sleeve shirts. One had Halloween on it. One had Minecraft
What I'm
on
telling
it.
you,
Star
no,
Wars.
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I said he had a long sleeve black shirt on, and on that shirt had one of three depictions. I didn't say he had three. I didn't say anything. I just said one.
Okay.
Right,
Can
I'm just confused by how have you not been able to identify which of those three depictions is missing?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Can you tell me every single shirt in your closet right now and everything that's on your
No,
shirt?
but if I had to
then.
choose between
Right, but
three
wait a
of
minute, wait a minute.
them, if
But
I
hold
had
on
to
a minute.
choose between three of them, I could.
You're saying three of them, but I'm telling
Well, you
you,
listed three things. I'm just confused.
I listed what could possibly be on the shirt.
Okay, can I jump in and try to interpret a little bit here? Okay, so are you saying that all three of those shirts are not accounted for, or are you saying you don't remember which depiction it was that was on that shirt? Does that make sense? Is that a little bit clearer?
Say it one more time. You broke up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so are you saying that you don't remember what the depiction was? It was one of those three things, or are you saying there are three different shirts with those depictions and all three of those shirts are unaccounted for?
I'm not saying he had three shirts with three different depictions on them. That's not what I said. I'm telling you, I don't know what exactly was on the front of the shirt. Is what I'm telling you.
Okay, so
Sebastian's clothes mostly consist of, if it has a picture on it, one of the three things. Those are his three favorite things.
Okay,
Halloween,
so what you're saying is he
Minecraft.
has, multiple Minecraft shirts, multiple Star Wars shirts, multiple Halloween shirts. So it's likely he had a shirt that had one of those things on, but there's not just three of those shirts.
I'm telling you that he had a long sleeve shirt on with one of the three depictions on it. That's it.
Okay.
I'm not telling you any more shirts. I'm not telling. So
No, I'm not
I know
trying
what
to
you're
do-
asking.
I'm just trying to understand.
I understand that, but you're asking me if he had three different long sleeve shirts with three different depictions on it. And
No, I
I'm
think I
telling
understand
you,
what you're explaining. Like, so Sebastian had multiple shirts that had a Minecraft graphic on it. Sebastian had multiple shirts that had Halloween. Sebastian had multiple shirts that had Star Wars. I guess maybe several of them were long sleeve and black. So you can't identify.
Here, let's just make this very simple.
Okay.
He had a long sleeve black shirt on with a picture on the front of it. There you go.
And that obviously is what you got from Katie, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody, Gray Hughes is here, and people are saying, why is Gray here? I will tell you, Gray is, I consider Gray someone that I like. Gray helped me in the beginning. When I started this, he was very kind to me. I know it's a shock, but he was very sweet.
Shock.
I asked He knows I'm kidding him. And I asked Chris, is it okay if Gray Hughes comes up? And Chris said yes. So Gray, I'm going to turn it over to you now, please, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say I've talked to Chris, and the way he's sounding right now is exactly how I think I would sound, or anybody else would sound, given the attacks being leveled. When I talked to him on the phone, we talked on the phone, we've messaged back and forth, but we talked for like an hour one time, and literally went over detail by detail on where the light video was taken. The flashlights. Exactly where that was filmed. We went over where the dog scented, and I kept sending him the map, and he would show me the route and everything. And it was like, to me, he seems like somebody who's literally out there trying to figure something out. I know my opinion isn't like all the rest of the people out there. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. It kind of reminds me of like remember the Chloe, was it Chloe? Yeah, Chloe Smith in Australia, the two parents that were sitting there and they just didn't look quite right, and everybody blamed them for the abduction out of a tent, and it turns out it was literally somebody abducted the child out of the tent.
Right.
I mean, there's just so many cases like this, and all I'm saying is, when I've talked to Chris Proudfoot, I have never seen anything that he said in any of the interviews where I went, wow, this guy, wow, he must have something to do with it. I actually look at him and think, man, I would feel the same way if from day one the entire community hated me and I never got the same love that Seth got. Seth was absolutely admired by everybody like he was God or something.
Let me explain why. And I agree. I think that's exactly how you would sound, Gray. There's no question. But let me explain why, okay? Again, social media is here to stay. We need to learn this. When anybody comes on and they are aggressive and insulting, it blows up like wildfire. And you're asking public for help, but you are condemning the public because of a handful of jerks, and that causes problems. I haven't
for the record, ma'am, I have not in the past gone onto a show and been a jerk and ridiculed the public and said a bunch of hateful things and inappropriate things. I have not done that. So I'm sorry that folks are upset that day one, Katie and I were not on TV.
I'm just confused. Didn't he come on that live stream and was really insulting to people? I mean, I just realized he said that, and I'm like, what? Did he not just a while ago come on and was very, very angry and insulting? And that's what I was trying to get across to him. And what I end up saying is basically the reason why people are being more kinder to Seth is because Seth is not coming on and being, a jerk and calling people names and such. After this, Chris went on somebody's, I don't know who it was, and called us names, And so I that's what I was trying to say. I was trying to, and I do actually confront him here in a little bit about him hitting Sebastian, or maybe it was it? No, I think it was. Anyway, that I was trying to tell him, look, Chris, this is why people are nicer to Seth, because Seth isn't coming on being a jerk, basically. And he said he hasn't done that. And when he said that, I just heard him come on and start being rude again. This was over 2 years ago. So sorry, guys, we'll just play just a little bit more. I keep saying that, I know, but I haven't heard this forever. And it's like, I've forgotten so much of this. And it's, to me, it really is very interesting, to say the least. So we'll play a little bit more. Seth comes in here very soon, I promise. So here we go.
Or on YouTube,
nobody
expressing everything. Well, you say that, but as you said, social media is here to stay.
Absolutely.
So with that being in mind, you're one, and there are millions out there that think otherwise.
I would never.
So,
I would never
didn't say
expect
you.
you to come on.
But I
I'm
think
not
the
saying
way,
you.
I think the way he was just talking a minute ago, to me, it sounded normal, given the fact that the 90% of the chat is just trashing him.
No, that's not true. That is not true. We are kicking the people
I
out.
can see it right now. No, I know you're kicking him out, but I keep seeing comment after comment after comment after comment that are really suspicious and like,
Yeah,
oh,
Gray,
no,
just
man.
close the chat. I'm not even.
Yeah, like
looking at it.
Well, I'm just trying to
you
be
had
honest.
somebody in the chat that literally asked the question, was Katie arrested at 19 for an incident? Like, I'm sorry.
No.
But once again,
know.
this goes right back to
Semantics and
I
none
know
of
what
that has
that is.
anything to do with Sebastian.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to create anything.
I know you're not, Gray.
I'm
I
just
know.
trying to say that I absolutely understand how he's feeling, and I know out there they go, "Oh, look, he's soothing Chris's ego." I listen. I've talked to him late night on a phone. He's just a normal dude trying to figure something out. That's how he sounds like. Now he's on here with. I've seen him on shows. Remember at the beginning, him and his wife would go on shows, and they were totally calm, talking, and they were normal. But everybody dissected every single word that they said, and everybody came up with a negative meaning for every single.
Well,
thing they
let
said.
me tell you one. Let me tell you what happened. I can explain. Now. Let me tell you, Chris, when you went on and talked about hitting Sebastian with a belt and kind of, just chuckling about it and how the social services or child protective services came to your door and apologized to you, that got people upset. It got people.
But right, let's clear that real quick.
Okay.
That needs to be cleared up because what was said and what people heard are two totally different things.
I heard you
Because
say you hit him with a belt.
Okay, so let me finish because that's the problem. When I go to make the statement, people want to interrupt and try to say, well, this and that. No, you wanted the answer. I'm giving you the answer. Now, when I answered that question, I told people Sebastian got a spanking. He got one lick on his butt outside of his clothes. If somebody can tell me how that's abuse to a child, explain to me.
I think I did.
Confirm when that happened.
I don't. That was years ago.
I got spanked by a belt and wooden spoon by my mom for years.
So, but let's not sidetrack. Let's stay on board. Okay. So the question about the CPS thing that came up to play that everybody wants to tie to this belt is not what it was.
Okay.
Well, I think it was confusing because when you initially talked about it, you referred to him as an embarrassed 15-year-old. So
Yes, you did.
Like it was years ago.
We thought it was like right recently.
Well, instead of
But let's
asking
clear it
more
up.
clarification,
Let's clear it
that
up.
should have been. So, as it stands, Sebastian went to school one day. He made a statement to a teacher. The teacher reports it to CPS. CPS comes to the house. That case has nothing to do with Sebastian getting spanked. That had everything to do with Sebastian didn't like being in trouble. So he thought by reporting it to a teacher, they were going to come to the house and they're going to take me out of the house and do this and do that. That is what the CPS case was about. And yes, I laughed at it because when I explained to Sebastian, very detailed, what happened, he thought it was a joke. When the CPS lady shows up and looks at him and says, Sebastian, you can't false report. That will get people in trouble and you can get in trouble. And then she explained to him what happens.
What did he say you did to him?
Can I ask you, what does that have to do with the price of eggs in China when it comes to the disappearance of Sebastian?
Because I'll tell you why. Because you're wondering why people are coming at you. And it's because he was in your home last. That was the last place he was seen.
Yes,
so
he was.
When we hear these things, it's like, okay, let's just clear it up and see what happens. Because I'll tell you why. Because people, I'm not saying me, but I've seen people say, hey, he was hitting his child. He reported it to his teacher. Did something happen? Was there an explosive incident that happened?
No. Absolutely nothing of that nature.
Okay.
And for people to not understand, when you discipline a child, there's a difference in discipline and abuse. There truly is a difference.
But I think hitting anybody with a belt is abuse. I'm sorry, I do. And a lot of people agree with me, and that's the problem.
And
So
guess
we have
what?
a difference
That's
of
the
opinion.
great thing. That's the great thing about having your opinion.
Yes.
That's an opinion. That's not a fact. That's opinion.
Okay. I think a belt is abuse, but that's my, again,
Well,
that is my,
if I was leaving bruises and marks on a child, that's abuse. That would be considered abuse.
okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
So
but-
by definition,
oh, that's weird.
that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. You can say your opinion, and that is fine, but you have to back it up and say, what I'm stating is just an opinion. There's no fact to it. When you don't say that, you leave it open to interpretation for a lot of people to take it and run with it. That was a lot of the problems with this.
And there will be people, I can get people from CPS that will say hitting a child with a belt is an abuse. But here's the thing, you're right. That doesn't have anything to do necessarily with Sebastian and his disappearance. But what it does is it creates a narrative in people's minds that we need to clear up and change, Chris. We need to clear it up and change it. Okay? So let's do that.
So we just did.
Okay. If now you did go on Nancy Grace and say that CPS has never been called, and
No,
a lot
that's not. No. Nope.
Okay, that's what I heard. He did say that. What did you
She
say?
She asked the question about a situation, and she asked me if I had ever had CPS called on me. I believe is what the question was. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't exactly know what the question was without hearing it again. So I'm
Okay.
not going to answer you with something without having it in front of you.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Very fair. And so let's move on. Okay, so nothing came of that from you hitting him with a belt. Has there ever been any, and people are going to ask, has there ever been any violence in your home as far as Sebastian is concerned?
No.
Okay, now Gray asked, why is Seth being treated so different? Because of how Chris came on and became so angry and did what you did tonight, Chris. You've done this before, and I think that's why, and Seth didn't. And I think that's the difference.
Right, because I don't feed out of people's hands. I don't feed into what people think. I don't, and once again, that's the difference.
But how about just saying thank you to the people that want to help you?
Okay, well, that's simple. There's a difference in me saying thank you to everyone, which if you go back and listen to every single interview I have done, I have told everybody, thank you for everything that you have done. There's not enough thank you in this world. We can't begin to describe how much we appreciate it. I have said this.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to one video and show me where I haven't. I've also said that our family prays for everybody else, and we love you all, regardless of what you think. But you know what? Once again,
yeah. I think when his first interview, you got to admit, his first few interviews were really calm. The one on, can't remember the names of their channels, but like, you know, he was on multiple channels, calmly talking. Both of them were. And yet the public was already angry with him before he became angry on a show, because that was definitely later. You got to admit, like his first 3 or 4, both of them.
And I can tell you why. Because he said he hit Sebastian with a belt. That made people angry.
Which interview was that?
It was the very first one I heard. With I can't remember.
Smiley stories.
Yes,
I can try
yes.
to pull up
Guys, I'm going to fast forward it a bit, okay? Just because we're running out of time, because I want to get to when Seth comes on here. I think he comes on about right here. Let's see.
but I'm not gonna sit here and say for a fact, yes, he has.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't have an answer for that. Sleep a lot. That's why he's been, but that's been his whole life. That's not just been like a segment. I'm pretty sure. I believe Seth has even mentioned this before as well. You know, I mean, the only time, like I've seen a couple times where he slept really well, but I mean that's when after a hard day of playing. If he's helped with outside work, but for the most part, he's had issues sleeping.
That's a big help in understanding this. Has he ever done anything like hid under a neighbor's car? Or okay, Seth is here. I've asked him to join us. Insightful One, if Seth jumps on, can you please put him on the screen because I can't because of my computer.
Right. I got it.
Thank you.
Have you guys seen the dog scent track? That because you actually showed it to me, right? Remember on the map, Chris? I don't know if you're interested in. It was kind of an interesting route up a street.
Well, and are you referring to the like day 1 through 4 dog tracks? Because some of those are.
Well, he had like a dog scent outside the front door and
Yeah.
sort of around by where the fixed light was on the flashlight, and then north, and then around to like a retention pond, something like that. Just short of it.
Stacy, I believe Seth is here.
Yeah, I got it.
Seth, I am so glad that you are here, my dear. Thank you very much. Seth, what would you like to say now?
I got a few questions to ask Chris.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You can, yes, he can hear you.
Hey, Chris. So why is it that you texted me the other day about something I'd already sent Katie an email?
Say it. All right, say it one more time. All I heard was something about an email sent.
Why did you text me about an email I sent on Monday to Katie?
Because I didn't see the information in what you're referring to as Tony Mathis's phone number. I didn't see it. So that's why I asked for it.
I mean, come on, Chris. If we're going to work together, more than a week communication between the people that I'm sending stuff to you and Katie.
Okay, so hear me out.
I
told you. I told you.
Okay.
I told
Let's
you
not come
Seth,
into
that we will work
okay?
together.
All right.
I explained to you that I'm willing to work with you. You asked me some questions in regard to this dog handler. You asked me questions in regards to going on a social media platform. You've asked me questions about hiring a PR person that will speak for all of us and keep everybody off of these platforms. That's what you asked. Now, if you think I'm not going to do my homework and dig into people and find out who they are first, you're crazy. Because I would expect you to do the exact same thing if I gave you a name.
I don't know what's going on, but did that solve it? I hope.
Oh,
Seth?
Seth gone? It looks like he's
Uh-oh. I think, wait, is this Seth? Did Seth jump off? Let's see. We've got me, Stacy.
Yeah. How about I'll get off the panel. I'm sure that'll make a lot of people in the chat happy, but I just wanted
stop it.
I just wanted to say that, you know, I understand what I've seen from the beginning is that there was sides chosen. Now I know you're saying because of this and because of that, but it was Seth good, Proudfoot's bad, and everybody has been in those camps, and they never really got a chance to breathe, and that's probably why Katie went to be with him, because she probably was scared to stay at home by herself, given these lunatics like JLR, et cetera, running around, chanting and screaming. It's insane.
I agree. It's horrible.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's
it should not be that way.
That's just kind of where I'm coming from. I appreciate communicating with him. We've had nothing but good conversations, and that's it. I mean, that's all I can do. And I've never seen anything that made me go, God, ooh, that's, you know, it's weird. I mean, I don't know. I watched the same things you guys have. But anyways, yeah, see you later, guys out there.
Okay. See ya.
Take care, Gray.
Bye, Gray.
Does anybody know where Seth went?
I'm working on it.
Okay, thanks.
I do know. I think up in his area, he doesn't have like the greatest signal, because a lot of times when we talk, his
You know what?
phone, he will drop.
Do you want to ask him if he wants to call me rather than go on the internet? Just call me on the phone, and I can put him on and to be a really, really strong signal. I mean, it'll sound really good.
Well, I think it's just like his cell signal up there is not the greatest.
Oh, it's his cell. Okay.
Yeah.
But if he wants to,
I mean, if he's on his cell phone, let me.
Heather, if you want to give him my number, and Chloe has it, feel free. And he can, if it's better for him to call me rather than to jump online.
I'm texting him.
Okay, we can do that. So, hey guys, I don't want to talk about other creators in chat, so let's not do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
agree.
Yeah, let's just. I mean, I don't want to give them any.
Right. So let's get to our next question.
Okay. Next question. Let me take a look at my notes. Yeah, because I just wrote some things down. Have you had? And I may have asked this and I forgot, Chris. My mind is sometimes mush. Have you had search dogs inside the house and outside?
Yes, ma'am, I have. Yes, I sure have.
And what did the dogs hit outside?
So, as you know, if anybody has followed Mr. Gray's, what he was talking about, the dog and the trail and the scent and the overlay on the picture. So they're anywhere from 13 to 18 different dogs have been involved in this search.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on day one, there was 5 dogs. 5. There's an audio dispatch tape that's been released. I don't know who released it. Whatever, I don't have it, but you'd have to dig it and find it. In that audio tape, you actually hear that the deputy sheriff does state that the dog and takes over off to the retention pond and the construction site next door.
Okay.
Now, other dogs did the exact same thing. Now, am I going to say every single dog? No, but I do know of at least 3 dogs that went on the same scent trail, same path. The rest of the dogs, I'm not going to tell you that they are 100% honest and perfect and accurate, because honestly, dogs are only probably 25% reliable when it comes to a scent.
Okay.
Now, 8 days, I've had dogs in my house the first 8 days. In my house, outside my house, around my house, around the neighborhood. So, yeah.
So they've been there, and yeah, so they did, you're saying they did hit and they all went to that pond?
No, I didn't say all of that. I just told you I've had 13 to 18 dogs in my house and around my house. I told you 3 different dogs hit on the same path that go to that retention pond.
Right.
I'm
That's
not going to say that every other dog.
Not every dog, but some dogs hit. Okay.
Right. So, but I want this to be crystal clear.
Okay.
So when people say every dog, that is not the case. 3 dogs went on the same path.
Okay.
That is all that we have on that. The rest of these dogs go in different directions, but it's all unreliable.
Understood. We do have a question from Michelle. Chris, was Ellie able to go in and search the cave they said had collapsed about 10 feet in? I haven't heard this.
Okay, so Ken Widener is the EMA director for Sumner County. They called in all kinds of stuff, got layouts of where these caves were. I don't believe, and I'm not telling you by the gospel, I don't believe they were able to get into certain caves because they were not safe to enter. The one that she is referring to that collapsed, honestly, we know that the one collapsed, but we don't believe they had anything to it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get my notes. I was taking notes while we were talking. Let's see here. Hold on. So people have been asking, and this I don't mean to sound insulting, but people are asking, are you searching? Are you putting up flyers? That's what they're asking.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, and here's why they're asking that question. No, you're not going to find pictures of us out there doing this, because it's real simple. We, all 3 parents, initially were told in the beginning not to go out and search we needed to be available to talk to law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth has been out there searching and doing his thing. He's had a bunch of people following him, whether or not he chose that or these people decided to do it on their own accord. That's not for me to say. But we, Katie and I, are not going to have some big, massive search party following us around with a bunch of people that are already threatened death threats, by the way, to us. You know, I'm not doing that. If you were in my shoes, you'd do the same thing. You listen to law enforcement. You do what they tell you to do. Yes, we're out there putting up signs. Yes, we're out there putting up flyers. Yes, we are searching.
Chris, I'm sorry. Did you just say you guys are getting death threats?
Yes, we've been getting death threats. And they have been reported to the TBI. Everything gets forwarded, screenshot, and sent straight to them.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, everyone. I have Seth on my phone, on my JBL speaker. Seth, I want to give you a chance to talk uninterrupted. So please go ahead.
All right. Mainly, Chris, the communication needs to be a little bit more prompt. If I send you an email on Monday and Tuesday, I'm not willing to wait a week to get a response back. I mean, that's unacceptable when we're trying to find Sebastian, buddy.
I understand what you're saying. I respect that. But when it comes to you asking people to come into my house on my property, who I don't know Adam from Eve, and I really don't care what certification, who can vouch for these people, I don't care. I'm going to do exactly what I have always been doing. You send that to me,
okay, well,
we're going to review it, and then we're going to send it to law enforcement.
You, Chris,
let law enforcement go that route, and then when law enforcement comes
for us,
hold on.
Need to be on your property.
Hold on, Chris. Chris, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Seth, what did you say?
I said the person to be our spokesman to speak for all three of us doesn't need to be on your property.
Okay,
but yeah,
you're correct.
You have spoken
you are very correct.
To him.
I have spoken to him.
When?
And I'm going to make this public. I am back working, and I have work hours. I also have to sleep. And unfortunately, I'm on the opposite schedule of you. So respect that. I will do what I can as I can when I can.
I'm sorry, Seth, go ahead.
When did you speak with him, Chris?
What does that got to do with finding Sebastian?
If he's going to be our spokesperson, I was just asking when you spoke with him.
I haven't come up with an answer yet. We've spoke with him. We told him we'll get back with him after we've done some consideration and talk with law enforcement. We'll get back to him, and we'll let him know our decision.
So,
I know you're on board with that. I do. I mean, I know you're 1,000% on board with Mr. Mathis. I got that. I'm not taking that away from you.
So, Chris, I understand like every marriage is different, and husband-wife aspect. You seem very protective of Katie and her having conversations with or without you. But like I said before you came on, I do believe that Katie is the one who, and I'm not saying it's because she knows what happened to Sebastian, but she was the last person that was with him. And so she does hold the most information, at least up until the point that he went missing.
What information do you think she holds?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Well, then do me a favor. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
Don't pour gravy on the mashed potatoes. Just serve the stuff up.
Chris, I'm really trying to be respectful, and this is a very
I am too. So please just get to it.
Okay.
No,
So
you're
we would
interrupting.
really love to hear from Katie about his body language that day. You know, we've heard from others who are, you know, not necessarily good sources about his body language at the bowling alley and his body language here and there. And so we're just really trying to pick up on Sebastian's mood because it could help us understand what led to him walking away off the front porch out the front door.
Well, that is something that if she decides to answer, that's on her. But what I know is even on video, Sebastian was having a great day. He was in a great mood. He got to go to BJ's. He had a colossal popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen, he doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that.
Okay. I've put the link in chat to this interview if you guys want to finish it, because Seth does have some very interesting comments throughout the thing. But I thought it was important, since Seth has filed a lawsuit against 2 agencies, as far as he says they have failed his son, Sebastian. I thought it was important to air this again because I think it shows a dynamic that I think is still in play. You know, it's kind of sad because I heard some of my alerts that were coming over through that interview, and one was from Heels in the Air, who died, and the other was from Beth B, who died. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I think they were referring to a spokesperson that has since died. But yeah, it was a very interesting dynamic. And again, I don't know what happened to Sebastian. There has been nothing to suggest that the Proudfoots had anything to do with it. I mean, there's been nothing hardcore to suggest that at all. The biggest thing is that was the last place where he was known to be, was in the Proudfoot home. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully these lawsuits will light a fire. Something will happen, because here, I just want to say one more thing. When it comes to cases like this with missing persons, like Nancy Guthrie, like Sebastian, like Summer Wells, why don't they release more information? I would like to sit the law enforcement people down and say, how's it working for you? Summer Wells been gone 5 years, Sebastian 2, Nancy, God knows how much longer, if we'll ever find her. Holding on to the information is not working for you. Let's try something different. Let's stir it up. Let's, as I say, let's think outside the box. And again, maybe these lawsuits will change things, and we will hear. All of these cases, I believe in my heart and soul, the only way they'll be solved is with the public's help. So we will leave it at that. I want to move on because Vinnie Politan made a post about the JonBenet Ramsey case on Facebook, and I just wanted to read it to you tonight. And then again, really quickly, it's the End of the World Again broadcast. We actually start it a week from tonight, like at about 11:50 Eastern. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to start it. And rather than just have a camera on me sleeping at 3 a.m, we're going to have a slumber party. We're going to ask Mad Chatters if they want to turn their cameras on. And, maybe we'll tell some stories and such as we get ready for the End of the World Again, which will be coming up that morning, is when we really start all the interviews and such. And so we'll have a virtual slumber party. We can have 10 people up on the live stream, and we'll have more information. And also, please, please, please start making your tinfoil hats, people, because we've got amazing prizes in the prize closet, in Trisha's prize closet. But again, remember, I get 2 to 3 years to mail them to you. I need a lot of time. It's hard for me to get to the post office. I'm so terrible at mailing stuff. But the main thing that we are going to do, and I am so proud of this, we are going to have amazing guests to talk about victims and talk about cold cases and talk about crimes and get public awareness up. And we have picked an amazing organization that we will ask people to donate to through the 24-hour live stream. So we have a lot more to tell you about that. But now I just want to read this. It's on Facebook. It is from Vinnie Politan, and I will put the link in chat here in just a little bit. Let me just make it, I have to make it a short link because it's too long and it won't post properly. Let me just do this really quickly. And thank you everybody for staying with us tonight, because I felt listening to that interview was very interesting, and there's still a lot more to hear. And so I hope you click on the link, and I'll put the link in the description as well. I hope you will listen to it, because when Seth comes on, it gets very, very interesting. So here is Vinnie's Facebook post about JBR, and I'm going to read it to you now. Okie dokie. That's interesting, Tree Hugger. Tree Hugger says the district attorney's office also has investigators, and they could have run a parallel investigation to the sheriff's department. So in my opinion, I think the DA has also failed Sebastian. And absolutely, that could be. Again, this lawsuit, I can't wait to read it to see what the exact charges are. And I think it's going to kind of light a fire under these agencies, and maybe we will get more information, because I firmly believe in my heart and soul, my friends, the only way these cold cases are going to get solved is if law enforcement releases information and lets the public help. So frustrating, but let's continue on. Okay, here we go. I will try not to have my head explode as I talk about JonBenet Ramsey. And I love Vinnie Politan, and this is a great thing that he wrote here. The JonBenet Ramsey investigation is back in the headlines, and this time the focus is squarely on the evolving science of DNA forensics. This is my opinion now. Vinnie doesn't say this. The DNA is a red herring. It is not going to lead to the intruder. End of story. Let me continue. Following the recent guilty plea of disgraced Colorado Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, analyst Yvonne Missy Woods, many have questioned whether the integrity of the evidence in this decades-old cold case has been compromised. I don't believe there's anything to, and again, this is me, I don't believe there's anything to suggest that Missy Woods had anything to do with this case, and I could be wrong, but let's continue. Here's a breakdown of where things stand. The Missy Woods scandal. Yvonne Missy Woods, a veteran forensic analyst at the CBI from 1994 to 2023, recently pleaded guilty to a range of charges, including first-degree perjury, forgery, and tampering with public records related to her work between 2008 and 2023. The revelation has triggered a massive review of thousands of cases processed during her tenure. The impact on the Ramsey case. Despite fears that the scandal might taint the evidence in the 1996 murder of JonBenet Ramsey, both the Boulder Police Department and the Boulder County District's Attorney's Office have issued firm statements. The findings. After a comprehensive review of records, investigators have determined that Woods' criminal conduct did not affect the evidence in the Ramsey investigation. Yes, thank you, Vinnie. This is why we love Vinnie Politan. The history. John Ramsey has publicly noted that the earliest DNA testing in the case was performed by an independent laboratory, Bode Labs in Virginia, back in 1997, which identified an unidentified male DNA profile. John Ramsey's call to action. John Ramsey continues to push for modern solutions. He maintains that the investigators have the killer's DNA profile. Oh, they certainly do. There's no doubt about that. And that the key to closing this case lies in forensic genetic genealogy, or FGG. Again, me talking here. No, it doesn't. But they do have the person responsible for JonBenet's death. They do have their DNA. They do, in my opinion. Ramsey is advocating for the following. Independent labs. He believes the work should be handed over to specialized private laboratories that possess the advanced technology and personnel required and personnel required for modern FGG analysis. Hello, Othram. Well, hello, Othram. I mean, Othram's the best, let's face it. Untested evidence, Ramsey has long questioned why certain items from the original crime scene were never sampled for testing, noting that subsequent rounds of testing consistently identified the same unknown male profile. I have not heard that. I do not know if that is true. Current status. The investigation remains active. The Boulder DA's office confirmed they met with the Ramsey family within the last few months and are actively working with federal, state, and local agencies to review evidence. Their goal is to ensure that the investigation fully utilizes the latest advancements in forensic science. While the Missy Woods scandal has cast a shadow over Colorado forensics, the official stance is that the path toward identifying JonBenet's killer remains intact, provided that the current push for the cutting-edge DNA methodologies continues. The DNA is a red herring. The DNA will not lead to an intruder. Okay? On my life, the DNA is a red herring. Let me continue. Vinnie concludes, what are your thoughts? Do you believe forensic genetic genealogy is the final piece of the puzzle needed to solve the 30-year-old case? Let's discuss in the comments below. Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with it. I say test everything. Test it. Spend the hundreds of thousands or, tens of thousands, whatever is needed. Test it all. Get it all done. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. There's a ransom note. That's right. I never hear them talk about that. You know what else I don't hear? I have a favor to ask all of you. I need you to look for something for me, because I have never heard John Ramsey get angry at the person who murdered his daughter. I have heard him get extremely angry at the media, and I understand why. Absolutely, I get it. I've heard him get mad at the police. I've never heard him get angry at the intruder. Where is they better find him before I do. Give me 5 minutes alone with him. Something. I've seen him get really mad at what what the media did to Burke when he tried to go to school. And again, I understand that. I do. If somebody could find me something where he is angry at the person who killed his daughter, I would love to see it. I could be wrong. He may have done it, but I haven't heard. It's not something he does regularly, if he's done it at all. And the other thing is, and I brought this up before, and I will leave it at this because my head is starting to explode again. If you had somebody break into your home and murder one of your children, and they said in a ransom note it was because of, the company you work for, that they they basically said, hey, you're okay, but it's the company you work for. Would you just send your 9-year-old son, back to school a few weeks after that happened? Or would you be like me, keep him in a basement locked up until he was 40? Because you'd be so terrified that this person would come back and kill him. No, I don't believe they had any. I take it back. I think they may have had neighbors and parents helping because of the media was following Burke, which was wrong. Absolutely wrong. But I've never heard John Ramsey say, I was really worried about Burke's safety. I don't want this maniac coming back and killing him. They were worried about Burke's safety because of the media. Again, understandable. But nobody asks these questions. Nobody pushes back. And I love what Vinnie Politan did here. This was a fantastic post on Websleuths. And thank you, Vinnie, for bringing all of this up. This was great because you cleared up. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. Sorry. You cleared up the one, another big red herring that was out there about Missy Woods. Had nothing to do with the JonBenet case, so they can't hang their hat on that anymore. But again, Test all the DNA, test it all. And one other thing, you know me, I am so not a scientist, but the DNA they have is so little that there was a time where there wasn't enough, and they would have to use it all up to test it, to test what was left. This person supposedly spent all this time with JonBenet. Wouldn't there be more than just a few like degraded skin cells on her? And I challenge anybody to take their clothes off after they've worn them for a day and have them tested for foreign DNA. You're going to find all kinds of foreign DNA on you. But you know what you're not going to find? A ransom note in your house that has handwriting that matches Patsy. And again, I feel confident that if I could sit down with everybody one-on-one and just show them the evidence, I really feel, and not just me, you know, I say me, it's not like I've come up with this. Absolutely not. It's other people that have worked hard that have put this evidence together. I just want to show it to you. And I can show you that there was no intruder. Now, I don't know what happened to JonBenet. I don't know who did what to whom or whatever. But I've got the book, Death of Innocence by the Ramseys. And I'll be going through that because there is a lot in there that is revealed that nobody realizes. And we'll be talking about that through the year here. And I really hope that they test, whoever does it, I hope they test everything. Not going to lead to the intruder. Now, I just lost my train of thought, and it was absolutely brilliant, people. It was probably the best thought I've ever had in my life, and it just went right out of my head. So, oh, by the way, I apologize. Stacy got dizzy again. I'm so worried about her. I don't know why she does this. And I told her, I said, you've got to quit drinking tequila straight from the bottle. She won't listen to me. She's not drinking tequila. But anyway, she had to go lay down. I said that was absolutely fine. So, yeah, exactly, Lynn Gen 2. There you go. My son could go to school with enough security to make the Secret Service look like a Boy Scout group. Exactly. That's how I would feel. I'd be mortifying my kid. I'd be there. I'd be dressed like a commando, you know, just standing there with my gun saying, I dare anybody to come near me and my son. No. Anybody, please find me something in the past where John Ramsey gets even close to angry at the intruder as he does the media and the police. He can't. I do feel whatever happened was a complete accident. I don't think for 1 second there was ever any intent to hurt JonBenet Ramsey. Not at all. So, anyway. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on here. I'm hearing ding, ding, ding. Let's see.
There's a man going around taking names.
I don't know. Aspen Connor just sent me something from Johnny Cash. I love Aspen. He's amazing. Okay, I think that's everything. And I did have another point I wanted to make, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, well, that's okay. Oh, here it is. This is real quick. And we've talked about this before. There was, again, you know, it's hard for me to explain the DNA. I need Cynic on here. But basically, they did find some DNA that was, you know, that was foreign DNA. But guess what? They found several profiles, meaning several different people. Okay, does that mean that there were 3 or 4 people in the basement? Or could it just be an artifact that has nothing to do with the case and it was, you know, DNA picked up along wherever she went? Again, I am not a DNA person to talk to, but the DNA has been explained very clearly and explained that it has nothing to do with this case. But more importantly, we can show you where John Ramsey has lied. We can show you where Patsy has lied. And so many things. But the problem is because there is a new generation of people and a new generation of journalists, they don't know the case. So when John Ramsey comes on, and he's a very nice man, very gentle, and if you don't know the case, you're not going to give any, he gets no pushback whatsoever. I think I'm the only one that ever gave him any pushback, and I was as polite as could be. When I asked him 2 separate times, 2 years at CrimeCon, what he thought about God, good Lord, now my mind just went blank. Grand jury, the grand jury indicting him. Both times he started to say to me, yeah, well, you know, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich because they only hear one side of the story. No, in this case, the Ramseys had representation in the grand jury room, and they presented the best evidence they had of an intruder. Very rare in a grand jury situation, because he's right. 99% of the time, the grand jury is used as an investigative tool by prosecutors, and they don't hear the other side. That's not the point of a grand jury. The point is to show the grand jury members the evidence they have and let them tell you, yeah, you've got enough there to indict and to get a conviction. Do it. And in this case, they had Lou Smith, who was the DA investigator, but basically the personal Ramsey investigator. But more importantly, they had John Douglas. And we all love John Douglas. He went in there and tried to convince the grand jury that these parents had nothing to do with the death of JonBenet. They still were indicted. Again, we'll talk more about it. And coming will be the Ramsey reality short series that we'll be doing. We'll be doing a bunch of shorts, just taking one piece of the evidence, explaining it really quickly, and putting it up there. So you can just watch one after the other. And pretty soon you'll get a picture that a lot of people, and I would say the vast majority of people who are silent, they're the silent majority that know that there was not an intruder. Again, what happened, I think whatever it was an accident, and it was tragic. But as we have had Chris Wolf on this show before, the Ramseys pointing a finger at an innocent person can ruin their life, and that's what happened to Chris Wolf. And therein lies my biggest problem with the Ramseys lying. They lied about their friends. They've lost their friends. I mean, we could go on, and I could literally go on all night, but I won't. So remember, everybody, a week from tonight, we will start the End of the World Again broadcast, and this is a live stream for 24 hours that we can be very proud of. We are going to have amazing guests. You are all going to be a part of it. And we're going to start it off with a slumber party. We're going to start it off with talking about what will be coming up after we get up the next morning with the interviews. You are going to hear from amazing people. And again, it is something that we are all going to be very proud of. And thank you all for your support. I greatly appreciate it. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Pat D. Thank you. But anyway, thank you all for your support with the End of the World Again. We do it every year, and every year it gets better. So love you guys. Okay. Oh, hey, this is what we're going to do right now. We close out the show by playing Old Bat and a Cowboy Hat. And I am going to show you Kathy's little Frenchie. And he's got a tinfoil hat on and a few other things. And again, we love Super Devereaux. Thank you for the theme song, Old Bat and a Cowboy Hat. Let me get a picture up here. In fact, we will start it with this right here. Hang on. This is Babs the Frenchie. This is Kathy L's Frenchie. And everybody, will see you tomorrow night. Wait. Hold on. I need to thank our wonderful moderators, Lynn Jen 2, Four Sons Mom, Moonlight View. Let's see, Leisha Gallegos, also Love and Coco, and Detective's Daughters Lady. Thank you so much. Ladies, thank you so much. And check out websleuths.com, the very best true crime discussion forum ever. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is Old Bat in a Cowboy Hat by Super Devereaux. We'll see you tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern on Websleuths YouTube Live. Bye, everybody.
She's an old bat in a cowboy hat, reading case files on a cellular phone. Coffee stain maps on the kitchen table, red string on an evidence board shown. Screens glow blue in a bifocal glare, bookmark tabs like a secret armory, whispering dates like a spell to herself. I know who you are, you won't outrun me. Websleuths in the dead of night, turning every rumor into black and white, digging through the dirt till the truth bites back. Click, clack, click, clack. All bad in a cowboy hat, riding through the forums like a desert track, chasing down the lies till the truth comes back. No rest, no slack, she's coming through the wires, better watch your back. Got a fan club on a message board, username flashing like a wanted sign, little avatars in a digital posse, follow every breadcrumb, every crooked line. She's got printouts stuffed in a cardboard box, hidden under quilts in the cabin shed, grins when the news plays a breaking story. I solved that puzzle 3 months ahead, oh yeah. Websleuths in the dead of night, turning every rumor into black and white, digging through the dirt till the truth bites back. Click, clack, click, clack. All bad in a cowboy hat, riding through the forums like a desert track, chasing down the lies till the truth comes back. No rest, no slack, she's coming through the wires, better watch your back. You can change your name, you can ditch your past.